What is processing? Processing simply refers to the means by which you take the fruit that surrounds the seed inside of a coffee cherry and get at the seed itself, because the seed is what we want, and that's what becomes coffee. How is coffee processed? Well, there are several different ways. We're going to talk about three of them. The first one is called washed coffee. When you wash coffee, you mechanically depulp it to remove the skins from the outside of the cherries, but you're left with a seed wrapped in thick, heavy parchment and sticky fruit mucilage. All that stuff has to go to get at the seed underneath. In washed coffees, the freshly depulped coffee is put into a tank to ferment for anywhere between really 12 to 72 hours, depending on temperature and humidity of the place and the flavor profile that you want to create. And then after that, a bunch of water is added to that tank. It's agitated to remove all the mucilage. The tank's drained, and the coffee's still in its parchment, put out to dry. The second type is called natural or dry processing, and that's where these freshly harvested cherries are just simply laid out to dry, as is. This process takes a lot longer because you have a lot more mass to dry off, and the result is quite a bit different in terms of flavor. The coffee is going to have a lot of influence from that fruit. Okay, second is sort of like a hybrid between the two. You can call it a pulp natural, or if you control it a bit better, oftentimes it's called a honey process, after the Spanish word miel, which is actually what lots of farmers refer to the coffee mucilage as. And that is where you mechanically depulp the coffees, and then still coated in the sticky mucilage, the coffees are put out to dry. It takes a little bit longer than a wash, but not quite as long as a natural. There's still influence from fruit, but not as much as you would get from a natural either. All right, we've processed the coffee, we've dried it, now we have to get rid of the parchment that's outside of it. What do? That's called dry milling, and that's just putting this coffee through massive machines that scrub it of the parchment and then grade it according to density and size.